This is the Viltrox DC-X2, and this is Samantha, and this is Bella. This 6-inch monitor is a 1080p monitor. It comes with a built-in sun hood, detachable, and it folds in and out, so it's like a screen protector too. When you put it away, you know, you just bam, 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 boom, you pack it away. It's very, very bright, 2000 nits. There is no way you're not gonna see your image unless your image is dark. It comes with an NPF 550 battery, but it also supports 750 and 970 batteries that go on the back. Or you can power it via USB-C or DC in. So lots of different ways. If you have a V-mount battery, you can plug that in, either USB-C or DC in. Very nice and easy. The battery that it comes with is their own Viltrox battery. It has a USB-C port, so you can charge the battery directly. No need to carry an extra charging adapter. Nice and easy with USB-C cables. The whole setup comes with a nice carrying case. You got a little zipper up top, hold your cables, hold your stuff. A spot for the monitor, a spot for the monitor mount. It's just a little mount. I have some B-roll of this, but this is the mount here again. And obviously a spot for the monitor, very easy. I have been using this monitor for a little over 2 weeks, and I want to go over some of the things that I found the most beneficial from using this monitor. This is not a full review, just a product overview. I bought this with my own money, and I just really needed a monitor for when I was recording with clients, with my customers. It is difficult to show them what's going on after, or to record myself looking at a tiny screen, especially when I got my whole camera rigged up, or if it's on a gimbal. Most importantly, I got this monitor to use on a gimbal, and there are some things you need to consider when doing that. With the DJI RS4, you get the extra handle that goes on the back. It's like called like the briefcase handle or something. I got one from Small Rig. All the links will be in the description, but you can easily attach the monitor to that, and you're gonna be holding that often. From there, it's going to be way easier to hold and way easier to operate like that without having to always looking at the little screen. That I only used it one time so far. That's the main reason I got it. But some of the other ways that I've been using this is I use it as a small secondary monitor that's supposed to be, I believe it's color accurate. It says 100% sRGB. Let me check right here. It's a 1080p display, 1001 contrast ratio. It's a color gamut, 100% plus or minus 3% sRGB. It's 8-bit color density. So yeah, so I actually use it as a small little monitor, just a viewing display on the right. I mean, I don't have a full color grading display. That would be nice. But since this was already 100% plus or minus 3, I feel like, okay, this should be already accurate. I don't need to calibrate or anything. So I plug it out of my GPU directly into the HDMI port. And in DaVinci Resolve, I'm able to use it as just a reference monitor, so I can do all my editing on the main screen and everything. And I still have the secondary display, and that's been able to help as well. Another way that I was using this is I was doing some event photography, and I got my whole camera rigged up. I got the handle, I got the mic, the USB, the cage, the battery in the back, and then I put the monitor on top. It looks like a huge camera setup. When people see big cameras, they think, wow, it must look so good. Even though we have very powerful cameras that look super good in our hands, very tiny, no one's expecting you to be a filmmaker. No one's expecting you to be serious when you pop up with your phone, right? That's why a lot of people put matte boxes on their cameras. It looks big, it feels big. I literally just saw an ad on Instagram. It's about rigging a DJI Osmo Pocket, literally rigging it. Like, they put a matte box in front, they put a battery, they make it look like a whole cinema setup. And one of the comments, I remember he was saying he got paid, he was doing like some paid shoot or something, and he was using his Osmo Pocket most of the time, but they were looking at him weird because he was just using this little camera the whole time. So he pulled out his Blackmagic camera and walked around with it for 15 minutes, he said in the comments, to impress the clients, basically, to show, he's like, oh, thank God you pulled out your real camera. It is a real camera if you know how to use your tools. Your phone, color grading, editing, sound effects, all these different things play a part. Storytelling, so much stuff that's going on in becoming a filmmaker, a videographer, that it's not just the equipment. So I had this monitor on the top of my camera, and when I was doing the event photography, I like to show people the photos. They're probably gonna want to purchase it after. They're gonna appreciate it a lot more, especially when they see how the photo came out, especially because I used the real-time LUTs in the camera. And I would just show them directly from the monitor, and wow, they are way more impressed than looking at a tiny little, my tiny little monitor screen on the camera. So that's another way I've been using it. Would I say this monitor is worth it? It depends where you are in your journey, and is it gonna be the best value thing to get? Definitely in terms of convenience and quality of life for recording. Maybe not for vlogging, but for recording, yes. For recording with customers, and you have a camera already, you already have lights, you already have mic, you already have other things, then yeah, I would recommend getting a monitor after you've gotten the more essential stuff. If you don't have a mic, you don't have like maybe an ND filter so you can record in like lower apertures outside, you don't have some aperture lights or something, softboxes or stuff like that, then no, I would not recommend getting the monitor first. That would be something that comes later, especially as now you already have like really good equipment. You're able to get everything you need, the audio, the quality. You're not being limited by lighting. You got all the other stuff. Then yeah, maybe add some of the convenience of having a monitor. When you buy the HDMI cable, it comes with the HDMI cable. It's pretty short. It's straight. It's like a straight HDMI to a straight HDMI. That works for most of the things, but I don't like the straight part coming out of the monitor. I'd rather have a right angle. So, but there's different kinds. There's left angle and there's right angle. Yeah, the angles with the HDMI, I had to buy like 2 different HDMI cables, and I still gotta return one because that one is like, it goes the opposite way. I'll just show you right now. So these are the 2 cables I got. It's from Alvin Cables. They seem pretty good. They feel like the Condor blue cables that I have, but they had them in stock on Amazon, and I needed one ASAP, so I just got this one. It says 8K 2.1. But let me show you the difference. You see these? You see these, how the HDMI, like the flat part is on one side? They're both on the same side. Let me show you the other one now. Okay, I'm pretty sure you could see it. So you could see how the flat part of the HDMI cable are facing different directions. So this would, let's just say this is like left to left and this is right to right. I'm not sure if that's actually what it is, but when you put it onto the monitor, you have your inputs right here. Now, do you want this cable to be pointing up or down? So I actually bought the one that pointed upward. So if I put the cable upward, it won't fit. So it won't fit this way. But if I put one this way and I put one this way, they'd be kind of like interfering with each other. But because this one is facing down, it won't interfere with the in. But if I put another one right here, let's just say this, it won't really work that well. You can see that it doesn't fit straight because they're both the same. So I would highly recommend getting a cable that's either straight to like left or whatever this is. I'll have to find out for you for sure. Or straight to right, or maybe a left to right, so that way they're both not the same. I mean, you're not gonna do this. I'm just showing you an example if you were doing like an input and an output with the HDMI. This is if you want pass-through, which I haven't needed to use that feature at all yet, but I'm sure you could if you wanted to, which is good. Let's say you're using your monitor with your camera, and then you also wanted to output that feed to, let's say, your computer, or to do OBS live streaming, but you also want to use the monitor. So you can have the video go through into the monitor and then out of the monitor pass through. It does 4K at 30 hertz loop through the HDMI. So it can take HDMI 4K 30 and it will output 4K 30 to basically pass through. This does have more tools than just viewing a screen, which I have not talked about at all so far, which shows you how not important they were to me. I have a waveform that I use, but I mostly use zebras. That's my way of determining if I'm overexposed or not. It's very easy for me, rather than having to always look at the waveform. The zebras just is this constant like, hey, this is overexposed. It's very easy. So that actually shows directly from my camera. But internally, you do have zebras, you do have waveform, and you have a vector scope to look at colors. If you wanna, I'm not sure what you would do that for, to be honest. Why would I need to look at the color specifically on the set? Maybe if you're trying to determine white balance, but I feel like you can probably just do that with a gray card. And speaking of which, I'm not sure if they did this on purpose, but this looks like a gray card. I haven't used it as a gray card, but I think maybe if you got nothing else with you, you can use the sun hood, this sunshade here, as a gray card. It's not very reflective. I think it would work. I think it would work. You also have a 1/4 inch mount on the bottom. You have it on the side, and you have it only on the side or on the bottom. So you can mount it either landscape or portrait. So you'd be able to use this for both. You just gotta make sure to get the right type of mount. The monitor also does come with some LUTs baked in that you can use from Sony, from Panasonic, for like the basic ones. I think also like Nikon and Canon, I believe, like, you know, converting from the log footage. I can do that from my camera and then send it to the monitor. So I'm not sure entirely why you'd want to do that. I think the only reason I've noticed that I might want to use the actual LUTs in the monitor is if you make a custom LUT and you want to see, there's two reasons. If you have a custom LUT and you want to see how your image will look, hopefully in your grade, like where it's going to be, or you can send the log footage to the monitor and you can use the waveform on the log image if you want to see the waveform on the log image, I guess. And then you could turn on the LUT just to see how it's going to look. So you can go back and forth. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know in the comments below, how do you use a monitor with the LUTs and the waveform? Do you guys use that? Do you send the log footage and look at the log footage, or do you send the LUT footage, like the converted, you know, the monitor LUT directly to the monitor? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments below. The touch screen is pretty good. It even has a lock function, so once you set your you can swipe. Oh, it's so easy. If this is the monitor screen, you just swipe up on the right side for brightness. You keep swiping up, increases the brightness. You swipe left for the audio. It's so easy. So you can hear the audio through the HDMI if you got that. Personally, for me with the Lumix S5 IIX, I don't like the increased delay that I have. That has nothing to do with the monitor. It's with this camera. The delay, it increases like the latency when you send the audio. So I turn off the audio send. And I actually turn on info display on my camera. So on the monitor, I can see everything that's on my little like screen here. I see my frame rate, I see my aperture, my ISO, and I even see the sound bars. Those are all visible, so I don't need to send the sound directly to the monitor. Unless you want to listen through the monitor, because it does have a headphone jack, a 3.5 millimeter, you know, like the little tiny aux. So you can listen to the audio through the monitor. I'm sure if you have a different camera with a lower latency, it probably wouldn't mind you at all. It also comes with way more features that I have not personally used, just because I have not really had the right opportunity yet to use those things. But you can zoom in. You do have focus peaking as well. You have a false color. Well, like I said, my preferred method is zebras to determine if I'm overexposed or not. But you do have false color. You have different grids. You can zoom in to determine your focus. You could flip the image around. Like let's say you're looking at yourself, you could flip the image so you can see how it looks. You do have grids. You have a safe area. And I do believe you have anamorphic support. You would have 1.6, 2.35, etc. Yeah, so all in all, I think it's a great quality of life investment. It definitely helps out when you're behind the camera, when you're using a gimbal. You just gotta make sure to get the right attachment when you attach it to the gimbal. Get a long enough HDMI cable. Remember to use either the straight or like don't get honestly, I got the coiled one just to keep things tighter on my camera. But for a gimbal, I think I would use a longer HDMI cable, probably braided, maybe like 3 foot. So it's not too long, but not too short, so it's not in the way. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Just an overview of the video. The products I mentioned are linked below. The monitor mount, the cables are all gonna be linked down below, as well as in the storefront that I have. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Let me know what else you wanna see or learn about the monitor. Are you already using a monitor? Do you plan on getting a monitor? This is something I've been wanting for a while, but haven't gotten to getting because I've been getting other things. Mics, ND filters, rigs, tripods, other attachments that I've been putting this one off to the side. But after using a gimbal straight for 2 weeks, I was like, I need a monitor, especially now. And now I got it for the next trip that's coming up, God willing.